Prakash. One night, two very different situations, two very critical patients, both of them brought by ambulance, two extremely unstable conditions, and two very different outcomes. I'm Dr. Prakash, I'm an emergency physician. My life revolves around these vulnerabilities every day, and I'm here to discuss about what happened and how it happened. How do you think your shift could be if you receive two ambulance calls back to back in the emergency saying that you're going to receive two unstable patients in a span of 30 minutes? Well, that's the job. The first patient was a middle-aged woman who was called upon by the ambulance initially, saying that she was at a restaurant, saying she felt dizzy, not able to walk, she felt some numbness all over her body, and immediately the paramedics arrived on scene and they were thinking it's a stroke, and they called us immediately with a stroke alert and they were being rushed upon to the hospital. 15 minutes later, there was another call by the ambulance paramedic saying there was a man at a restaurant eating food, was having some stomach pains, and still the stomach pain has not gone off for a couple of hours and he is profusely sweating, and they're bringing him to the hospital immediately. First, the lady arrives to the hospital, so we examine her. Although they're not typical signs of stroke, we still rule out a stroke by all the necessary means, and then we do other tests also where we found that the carbon monoxide levels were elevated, and she was started on high flow oxygen for the next few hours. As this was going on, there was another man who came in, but he was already receiving CPR on the way and he's being wheeled into the emergency. So apparently this man sustained a cardiac arrest on the way coming to the hospital. So we tried giving CPR continuously for around 40 minutes, but our efforts were futile. So it was sad that we could not revive him despite all the resuscitative measures that we could do. And yes, we had to deliver the bad news to the family. When asked about the history of the lady, now she was improving very well with the oxygen. We went back to her. Her symptoms have almost resolved after a few hours, and she was in a restaurant, but not just with food, it's also a shisha restaurant where people smoke shisha, closed rooms, a lot of smoke. So these smokes are vulnerable for carbon monoxide toxicity. It's not just the fires which put out the carbon monoxide which you inhale. Anything that can burn and produce smoke produces carbon monoxide, and levels above 20% can cause significant symptoms. Hers was above 20%, but if it was above 60, her life is also in danger. It would have been very difficult for us to save her. She would need hyperbaric oxygen. We were prepared to, but that was not required in her case. She walked back home happily, laughing. Retrospectively, when I asked the family about what happened, how this thing happened, they told me he had this stomach pain for quite a few hours now, 2 to 3 hours before going to the restaurant. He had some antacids by himself, following which he was still not comfortable. He thought by having food, his stomach acids would settle down. So he went to the restaurant, still was not feeling comfortable, and then that was the time they called for the ambulance. And he had a cardiac arrest in the ambulance. On one hand, we have a stroke suspected victim who's walking back comfortably after a few hours of staying in the emergency. On the other hand, we have a man who was supposed to have a stomach pain not resolving, who was alive a few hours ago and is no more. This is the tragedy of ER. This is the tragedy of life. These warning signs hit us hard, just like how opportunities knock us sometimes. These warning signs cannot be ignored. They convey a message that we should seek some help somewhere. And warning signs do not knock as frequently as the opportunity that we seek, because we may not be alive to have another warning sign. So whenever we have a warning sign, or we think we have a warning sign, I think it's prudent that we visit an emergency room and make yourself clear that you're safe to live and wake up the next day, because it is one life that we get. It's one journey that we have on earth, and we deserve to live this life happily, and our family deserves to have us around happily till we get old and die. If any of you or your family members have witnessed similar situations, please drop in your comments. Your message could mean a world of an understanding to the people viewing this video and reading your messages. How nice would it be if you could clone yourself so that you can go have fun and ignore all the warning signs? That's not happening anytime soon. So until that evolves, please take care of your warning signs.